I'm more aware of my body now than I was when I was younger. I hardly ever went to the doctor. I just thought, well, if I get sick, I'll get better. Cancer was a real eye-opener for me. Everything was all hunky-dory until I had a blood test and it said the PSAs were high.
A PSA blood test identifies men at higher risk of having a cancer, which needs to be diagnosed by a prostate biopsy. That's usually done under ultrasound guidance, which doesn't provide us with much in the way of internal architecture of the prostate.
This is Tom's ultrasound, and you can see on ultrasound, this is the same region where the cancer is, and you just don't see anything. It's just gray on gray, looks quite smooth, and you would never suspect anything there.
My dad has cancer as we speak. My grandmother died of ovarian, so it's in my family. It's sad to see people deteriorate in front of you, and it does have an impact on you. It makes you realize the importance of health. It made me realize I'm going to deal with it head on right away because I don't want it to escalate.
Hitting an early cancer, which is the size of a pea, inside an organ the size of an orange, you need precision to hit it. And that's where imaging is key to providing that precision.
The fusion biopsy takes an MRI of the prostate and overlays it onto an ultrasound. And then we can use the ultrasound image to identify exactly where the tumor is or where we think the tumor is. But this is actually Tom's MRI, and you can see here outlined in red, this is where his tumor was. And on his first biopsy, the needle just touched the tip of this, and it looked like he had a fairly insignificant cancer and he'd be good for active surveillance. But when the MR was done, it was clear that there was something more concerning there.
All it takes is one cancer cell to spread through your body. I couldn't take that chance. Thankfully, I had the MRI and then I had the targeted biopsy, and they did surgery on me to remove the prostate in March of 2015. And so as of today, which is May of 2017, I'm cancer-free.
If you have a borderline elevated PSA and your MRI is normal, we can now more confidently say you don't even need a biopsy, and actually increases the likelihood of diagnosing a clinically significant cancer if it exists.
Having a biopsy is not fun. Basically, you're using your prostate as a pincushion, trying to put it going into various spots. But that is not a great procedure. And having 2 or 3 or 4 biopsies while they're looking for the cancer is no way to treat this disease.
We're asking for the fusion technology, which integrates existing capabilities that are already uniquely here. It will help men immediately with image-guided diagnostics at a more precise level. The ultimate goal is to increase cure rates and to minimize suffering and prolong survival in men with cancer.
Now that I know I'm cancer-free, I feel relieved and I feel excited about the day. Had I waited or lived with it or tried to live with it or avoid it like most men do, then who knows what would have happened. But it's because I dealt with the issue when it was presented to me that created the happiness that I'm feeling today.